There is no cap, no capital maybe. Spent love. Two eyes with weeping but these and walked into the shop and their whole lives suddenly passed past that moment. Start a huge foolish project that makes absolutely no difference what people think of you. I died for the minerality to become the vegetable for the vegetableness, and then I died to become an animal and died from the animality to become a man, and there's no difference from the death and there's some time I shouted. Bring forth the wings and the feathers like angels in their soul, and how you're in his you cannot imagine I show. My soul receives for the soul the knowledge and therefore not by the book nor the tongue. If knowledge and mysteries become after emptiness of the mind, and that is the illumination of the heart. It will be observant for the village and down. It should be severed every moment for the responding to the action observed for the have your heart. Something is born to see the consequence of every action. Harsh like the such one known to reply for the rants with the right and spite to whoever's feeling saving it and smite to brow. Shrine for the love of the food for the not to sheep and coat. Rub the eyes beyond the image of the heart, making sure yourself is free enough to take one stroke. Like a sword without a trace of the soft iron like a steel mirror. Caught the score of the rust within contusion. Star without a name, easily forgets. Looking up into the sun, you should taste the filter of the light in which world you find your wisdom with the personal covering, and that's how you came here. Like a star without a name, moving across the night sky with an anonymous light. The Most High has given us a dark wine so potent that drinking it leaves the two worlds, and God has put into the form of the habits of the power to deliver the taster from evils and consciousness, and God has slept so He made me sleep so that I can erase every thought. Thousand and wines, we can take over the mind, but don't tell the ecstasy's all the same. Jesus was a love for the love of God, and the donkey was a drunk for the barley. We're drinking for the presence of the saints and not for the other jars. And every object, having every being in the jar full of delight, be connoisseur to the taste with the caution and wine that we can hide and judge like a king and choose the person. The peers are the one that adulterate, but the fear with some urgency would never need it. Drinking the wine that moves you as the camera moves its skin when untied and not unambling about it. Gone to the unseen. Last I departed for the gone to the unseen, and what marvelous vow did take me from this world? It beneath for the wings of the feathers, and you broke from the free for the cage, and rising up to the sides and untamed. The world of the soul, deprived for the falcon trapped by the old woman in you. The drummer's call for the flowing behind the space and time. Love sick, nightingale, flowing among the aisles, and came to the center rose garden with the food for the meat the rose, and wine to the fleeting road of the heart. Calls for the head and the ache. Finally you joined to the tavern of eternity. Only the arrow for the spare for the bow. Only went in the street for the bullseye for the bliss. Phantom gave me the false signs for the turning to the illusion and journey to the land of truth. And now the sun who would need me for the crown and vanishing for the world, and only for you to tie the rope. And heard that to barely see the soul. Would like to why look at all. Yours is yours for the souls of souls, and heart for the wonderful bird you are. Seeking for the divine heights and flapping the wings for the smash for the pointing spears of the enemy, and flowers for the fleeing in the autumn. But not you for the fearless rose that grows amidst this freezing wind. Pouring down like the rain of heavens, and you fell like upon the rooftop of this action in every direction is escaping through the drain spout. Now the words are over, for the pain is gone, and now I've gone to rest. Arms of the beloved.
Vegetables for the vegetables, and I gotta become an animal, die eyes with weeping with these and walking to the shop and the whole lot suddenly passed past that moment. Start a huge foolish project and it makes absolutely no difference what people think of you. I died from the minerality to becoming a vegetable, and for the vegetableness, and then I died to become an animal, and died from the animality to become a man, and there's no difference between the death and this the time I shall live. Bring forth the wings. There is no cap, no capital. There is no cap, no capital maybe. Spent love. Two eyes with weeping with these and walked into the shop, and the whole lot suddenly passed past that moment. Start a huge foolish project. It makes absolutely no difference what people think of you. I died for the minerality to becoming a vegetable, and for the vegetableness, and then I died to become an animal, and died from the animality to become a man, and there's no difference with the death, and there's the time I shall live. Bring forth the wings and the feathers like angels, and they're sobering how your hands. There is no cap. There is no cap. There is no cap. There is no cap. No capital. There is no cap. There is no cap. No capital maybe. Spent love. Two eyes with weeping but these and walked into the shop and the whole lot suddenly passed past that moment. Start a huge foolish project. It's absolutely no difference what people think of you. I died for the minerality to become a vegetable, for the vegetableness, and then I died to become an animal, and died from the animality to become a man, and there's no difference with the death, and that's the time I shall live. There is no cap. There is no cap. No capital maybe. There is no cap. No capital maybe. There is no cap. No capital maybe. Spent love. Two eyes with weeping but these and walked into the shop and the whole lot suddenly passed past that moment. Start a huge foolish project. It's absolutely no difference what people think of you. Before I practice that cry for the search for that. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building, maybe looking like a rotten hoe with the roof caved in. Water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carpenter stopping at the house. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building, maybe looking like a rotten hoe for the roof. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building, maybe looking like a rotten hoe for the roof caved in with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carpenter stopping at the house where no doer workers rush. Maybe towards some hint of emptiness, but when they start to feel the hope, the emptiness and don't think that they must avoid it, contains what you need. Dear soul, if you bring out the friends with the bath, nothing else inside would be always casting you the net into it, waiting so. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building, maybe looking like a rotten hoe with the roof caved in, water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carpenter stopping at the house where no doer workers rush. Towards some hint of emptiness, but when they start to feel the hope, the emptiness and don't think that they must avoid it. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building. Knowing before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building. Looking like a rotten hoe. Before I practice that cry for the search for not there to practice. Building, looking like a rotten hoe with the roof caved in, water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carpenter stopping at the house where no doer workers rush. Maybe towards some hint of emptiness, but when they start to feel the hope, the emptiness and don't think that they must have. Knowing before I practice that search for not fair to practice building. Maybe looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carpenter stopping at the house with no doer workers rush. Maybe towards some hint of emptiness, but when they start to feel the hope for the emptiness and don't think that they must avoid it, it contains what you need. Dear soul, if you were not the friends for the vast nothingness inside, would be always casting you the net into it, waiting so patient. Visibly, the ocean has given you some abundance, and you still can't find it till we call it death, and this comprise the substance of work. God has allowed me some magical reversal to occur so that we can see the scorpion's pit and object of desire to the beautiful expanse around it, the dangerous one. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, looking like a rotten hole with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carving, stopping at the house with no doer workers rush. Before there's some hint of emptiness, but when they start to feel the hope, emptiness and don't think that they must avoid it, it contains what you need. Dear soul, if you were not the friends for the vast nothingness inside, would be always casting you the net into it, waiting so patiently. Visibly, the ocean has given you some abundance, and you still can't find it till they call it death. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, maybe looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carpenter stopping at the house with no doer workers rush. Before there's some hint of emptiness, but when they start to feel the knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, maybe looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Knowing before I practice that craft for the knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, with the water carrier. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Gardener stopping at the house with no doer workers rush. Before knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building. Looking like a rotten hole with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, looking like a rock. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, looking like a rotten hope. Knowing before I practice that. Knowing before I practice that craft for the search for not fair to practice building, maybe looking like a rotten hope with the roof caved in, with the water carrier picking up the empty pot. Carpenter stopping at the house with no doer workers rush. Maybe towards some hint of emptiness, but when they start to feel the hope for the emptiness and don't think that they must avoid it, it contains what you need. Dear soul, if you were not the friends for the vast nothingness inside, would be always casting you the net into it, waiting so patiently. Visibly, the ocean has given you some abundance, and you still can't find it till they call it death, and this provides the substance of work. God has allowed me some magical reversal to occur so that we can see the scorpion's pit and object of desire to the beautiful expanse around it and dangerous swarming of snakes. This is how your stranger fears before the death and emptiness it is reversed for the attachment of what you want, and now you've heard me. You and your misapprehensions and a dear friend listening to the story of the same subject is strong for the pearls of the king, among the spoils of the eunuch and pain. Adopted your son for the education provided by royalty of the blood and later be invested in Mrs. Regate. Gold throne behind himself, one day found to the young man weeping. I'm remembering my mother, how scared. Threats of you, nothing could be more held than only now for the sitting of the here. Spirits, poverty or emptiness, and the father, your attachment to beliefs and blood ties, to desires, comforting habits, and not listening to the seeming protections of the imprisonment of worst enemies when they're making you afraid for the emptiness, and someday you'll find the weeping tears of the delight and not work. Remember your mistakenness in the knowingness. Natures of the spirit keep it flowing, going from the lies, lie. It comes eventually like the rest of the chain. Peaceful years and too hot for the summer and too cold for the winter, and divide his desires in another way, like an unpredictable associate. You must be patient. That companion is helpful because patience expands the capacity of love and feeling the peace and rose and close of the thorn that keeps its fragrance. Patiently gives the milk of male counsel, still nourishment for the third year of the patient tries to practice the show. Be beautiful and careful. Sowing on the share for the patience it contains friendship and loyalty. Having patience for the strength of the connection with friend and defending the glory, noble and big peace.
song. Yes, somewhere that's open out a dream. It's an endless drop, a surprising sting, like a wasp creeping under your bent leggings. It's a rolling wave that'll smash your shore, and you find yourself begging the waves for more. And maybe I won't find out what it really means if I could only slip between the earthly seams. Said maybe I won't figure out what it did be, and leave it for some others to keep pondering. And maybe I won't find out what it really means if I could only slip between the earthly seams, and leave it for some others to keep pondering. Take some, I made my town, and it helps me make it. I give some, and it lets me take some. Sports in July. Why do I